You know you could have had a president. Guess that I would rather be the man. Maybe one day I'll go back to school. Think I'm probably kidding, but I still mean it. They've been trying to screw me, but I've been a genius. Caddy looking more like home since I made moves. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now?
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, Smith. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And this results in 6. Touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that. First drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. Shifts by him. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Andre Howell, the one to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
I said line 80. Check 26, check 26, 35.
On 2nd down, Peterson. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
I said line 80. Liz.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big play there for the Redskins on 3rd down. 51 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. From the red zone now, Smith. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Peterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Smith now on third down. And he's got his man. That's Crowder for the Redskins touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Lamar Miller. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Second down, Flacco now. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
After the interception, here's Smith. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 6 there on first. They should have gotten more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Hey, gun.
They give it to Peterson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Even after more than a decade in the league, Smith still one to account for with his legs as he picks up a first. On 1st and 10, Smith. And this is caught. In the end zone, it's Dotson for the Redskins touchdown. Josh Dotson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Flacco here on 2nd down. Caught here by Griffin. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
Nice. Job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Hurry up.
On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. Dumps it complete to Miller. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, Miller. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And here come the Redskins now. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Peterson gets the call running left. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. An 8-yard gain, so that gets him halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Tiger. Liz.
From the gun, here's Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Fielded at the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now a 1st carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Flacco from the gun. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Got to get to the 26 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. From the gun, Flacco. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. Strong coverage by Washington. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 16. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To pass, Flacco. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. Into the Redskins have it, they do. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's got to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. They run. Peterson. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Smith. Being chased out left. Jordan Reed has it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Smith feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Bernardrick McKinney able to get him for a loss of about 3. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. He'll get it up the middle. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
So the fumble recovery, now Flacco to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. He's got a man, complete. 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 93 yards. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Smith on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Smith. Harris has it over the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now it's Smith. And that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, as the first half is winding down. And the Redskins have tied it here. The extra point to come can put him in the driver's seat. And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. Now D.D. Westbrook to return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Swearinger. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Underneath for Miller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Forced out to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Now he's flushed out left, and that is incomplete here. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Flacco. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Flacco looks to throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They go pass again with Flacco. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be caught. A huge play there for Houston. 44 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Texans have broken the tie. And he's got it up and through. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, Peterson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And now out comes Houston. Well, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Second down, Flacco now. On the right side, caught by Green. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Flacco now, perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Flacco. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. Into the Redskins. Have it, they do.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football.
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Buying time to his left. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Smith. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Two incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Smith throwing again. And this is caught in the end zone. It's Dotson for the Redskins touchdown. Josh Dotson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Flacco now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Operating off play action. Flacco. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Incomplete on first down. Now Flacco on second. Green's got it over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different. Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield. Again, it's Flacco to throw. Going deep this time. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And a return will stop right around the 25. So cancel the interception, pass interference. And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again. And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to throw, Smith. Out to the left here to Reed. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time. But now you get to sit up here with me. Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
15.
From the gun, here's Smith. Flush to his right. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one. And such a close game, a very big one. Pulled in at the 24. Look at the dance and the juke. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right? It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Miller. Lamar Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. On first down, it's Smith. Complete. Richardson has it. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Smith now to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. How about this? Flacco setting to throw it. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Flacco trying to lay one up deep. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the pressure legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On the toss, here's Foreman. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Now Foreman. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They run again with Foreman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Houston, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Washington, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.